It is I, Megatron. Hear me, humans. You're now watching Science Productions. Transform and rise up.
What is up, guys? Welcome back to another Transformers video here today. And today I'm going to be doing a ranking. And this is going to be a ranking of all of the Transformers movies, including the animated, of course, all of the live action ones, and Beast Wars is actually on this list as well. Talking about the Beast Wars arc from Transformers Prime, so I will rank that as well. But this is mainly just for the movies, of course, all the live action ones, and of course, Transformers 86, the movie. So without further ado, I'm just going to go in the order that they are listed here. And again, I'm not saying this is the order they are. This is just my personal opinion. So bear with me before you tear me apart in the comments down below. This is just my personal opinion. And I may be swapping some things around before I get to the end. So wait till the end to judge the final results. Don't just judge it based off some of my first impulses. But getting right into it with Transformers 86, the movie, I think I'm going to have to put that, of course, there at A tier. A lot of people, I see a lot of people that are saying it's not as good as just nostalgia, and ranking would probably rank it lower. And then I would know a lot of people would say it's the best, nothing will ever top it in S tier. But for me, I'll put it in A tier. I don't think it's the best, but I think it's amazing. I think it's the foundation, of course. And following up, we're going right to 2007, the movie I grew up on. The movie a lot of people agree is the best, of course, of all the live action ones. And I'm putting that one in S tier, of course. I mean, it has to be an S tier. Yeah, I mean, there's not really much said about that. I'm definitely putting Transformers 2007 in S tier. That was the one that started it all. The CG still looks amazing till this day. The story was good. A lot of the stuff, even though there was like corny and like some of the jokes some people didn't like and stuff, I always loved Shia in them. I think the Autobot cast is the best cast in this, even though I wish some of them got some more shine. The Decepticons are all good. Megatron is cool, and it's really a great start to the live-action Transformers. Following that up, we're going to skip over Beast Wars. I'm actually going to go in movie order, actually. So Revenge of the Fallen is down here. Revenge of the Fallen, I'm going to put that in B tier. And I know a lot of people really don't like Revenge of the Fallen, but I do like Revenge of the Fallen. But I'm also realistic. I know that it is definitely not on the level of anything above it, and it doesn't deserve there. And B is kind of generous. Maybe it should be in C, but I really do like Revenge of the Fallen. I just rewatched it recently, and I really think that it is a bit overhated. I think the twins are overhated. I like the twins. I know they're never going to get studio series. Devastator still amazing. Megatron's design is so cool. The Fallen is a cool villain, even though he doesn't really. I mean, he has a really cool scene where he beheads a human, and a lot of people, it's like a blink and you miss it thing when he first pulls up on Prime after Prime gets revived. But honestly, long story short, I like Revenge of the Fallen, and I'm not going to put it any lower than a B. Following Revenge of the Fallen, though, S tier, Dark of the Moon, my favorite Transformers movie. Still, after Rise of the Beast, after all this, it's still my favorite Transformers movie. But just now thinking about this, like I said earlier, I'm switching stuff around. I'm going to be bumping down Transformers 2007 next to the 86 movie. I'm going to put it on A tier, because I do think S tier deserves to be just so pristine. And I have one other that I'm going to be putting in S tier, and we're going to get to it, but Dark of the Moon deserves to be alone in this spot for this moment. Dark of the Moon is my favorite Transformers movie, regardless if people like it or not, regardless if people think it gets boring or it's too long. Sam in this, I think the only thing that really would have put this movie over the top is two little things. One, swap out Carly for Michaela, because it adds so much more emotion to the story. And two, leave the ending, the original ending that was planned, that was revealed in the book, that Optimus accepts Megatron's truce at the end after Megatron saves him from Sentinel. Instead of killing Megatron, he would have instead accepted the truce, and they would have gone off to Cybertron to rebuild together. But overall, Dark of the Moon's my favorite Transformers movie. Some of the best action, some of the best designs. Sentinel's a badass. Megatron, even though he's beat up and doesn't really have too much of a presence, I love his design in it. Starscream, even though he dies, he goes out sad. I still love Starscream. Optimus, I even though people think this is peak insanity Bayverse Optimus, I'm working on a video on this that I think all of his motivations are justified. But Dark of the Moon, really love that movie, and it's right now my only S tier. Moving on to Age of Extinction, and I think this is a super solid C tier. A lot of people may say C is even too generous for it, but I'm going to be putting it in the C tier, and that is because I don't hate it, but I don't love it at all, and I don't like it all too much, but I think a lot of the designs are cool, and I think, I mean, it visually looks great. I really do like the new Autobots. I like Hound, Drift, and Crosshair a lot. I love Bee's evasion mode. Not evasion mode. What's it called? No, I like Prime's evasion mode in the beginning, even though it's all like dusty and stuff. I think there's another name for Bee's 67 Camaro mode, but I'm just gonna call it his evasion mode as well. The black Camaro with the yellow trim. I wish he stayed in that mode longer, but Age of Extinction does have some really cool moments, but overall, not a big fan of it. Not the biggest fan of Wahlberg as the protagonist. Not the biggest fan of the story overall. Not the Transformium stuff with the pixels. No, that's not my Galvatron, all that. Even though designs are cool, not the biggest fan of that movie, so that's a solid C tier. Moving on to the worst movie, by far, The Last Knight. There's nothing positive to say about this movie. Hot Rod is a joke. I mean, I don't know. I really don't know what's worse, Hot Rod in this movie or Wheeljack in Rise of the Beasts. But I'm just being brutally honest. I'm really not a fan of what they did with both of those characters. But this movie is just trampling around, falling around like it's like Dwight in The Office on the hot coals. Like, that's what it's doing to the canon of Transformers, with all the stuff it tries to do with the knights and the ancient stuff and the staff and the Witwickens and this, that, and third. And it's just it tries to do so much. It tries to put so much in, force so much in, but it feels like it's such a rushed pace. But it's such a long movie. I mean, I don't know. I'm just not a big fan of that movie. No one's really a fan of that movie. It's not a good movie. Sure, Megatron's design is awesome. Barricade's design is awesome. Nitro Zeus is fantastic. It really has great designs. That's the one thing you can't knock about a lot of these movies. The designs are great, but the story in this movie was just terrible, with Cybertron coming back to Earth again, Quintessa, the Unicron, and the Earth thing. Just cool ideas, executed really poorly, and not a good way to end off the Bayverse. So that is why it is solid in that D spot. Moving on to Bumblebee. Boom, welcome right next to Dark of the Moon, S tier movie. I know I'm seeing a lot of people recently hating on Bumblebee and saying it's only like, only critics rate it that high. No, I like that movie, even though it's you could say it's very cookie cutter, formulaic. I really like Haley Steinfeld as an actress. I think she did a great job portraying her character, did a great job making Charlie a compelling human character, even though a lot of people couldn't really connect with the Shia LaBeouf because he was a lot of comedy, whereas Charlie was really a more down-to-earth, human-based character, and it really allowed the story to bounce between her and Bumblebee really well. And Bumblebee was just a great movie. Like the G1 beginning and the little G1 scene we get a Prime are just two of the greatest scenes in all of Transformers. The action was good, the story was good, Bumblebee was great in this. Dropkick and Shatter were fantastic villains and really showed what Travis Knight, giving a new director what you could do with the Transformers. And I really don't have any complaints about it. That's why I have it as an S tier. I really don't have any complaints at all about that movie. It is great for what it is. It's not a large-scale excuse me, not a large-scale Transformers movie. It is the Bumblebee movie. That's what it is. And for what it is, it's fantastic. Bumblebee is not a cut-edge, ruthless character. He is like the buddy bot character. And what this movie is, what it does, it executes perfectly. Now, moving on to Rise of the Beasts. And I was thinking I want to put this in the B category, but that's just not accurate. Rise of the Beast is an A. And do I think it's better than the 2007 movie? Maybe. I would say on par. Maybe I'd put 2007 a little bit higher than it. I would have it higher than the 86 movie, and I would definitely have it higher than Revenge of the Fallen. Rise of the Beast was a really good movie. The more I think about it, more time goes on, the more it grows on me. Maybe I'll go back and see it a third time again. But I really just can't wait to get this thing on Paramount's streaming service in like a month or two, just so I could analyze it up close in HD and just look at all and admire the CG in this movie, because the CG was fantastic. The battle scenes were some of the best we've gotten. You could see everything that was going on. The disappointments being the lack of Maximals and some of the runtime being a little forced and stuff like that. But overall, really good Transformers movie, really good step in the right direction. And now we know Stephen Caple is in talks to direct the sequel, and it will, of course, involve G.I. Joe, as was revealed at the end in the mid-credit scene. But overall, I would have to put Rise of the Beast in the A tier. And just to rank the Beast Wars, or the Beast Hunters arc of Transformers Prime, that's also going in A tier. Transformers Prime is top-tier Transformers. And I would recommend that to anyone who has not watched Transformers Prime. Go and watch Transformers Prime. I almost just gave out a website that you could use, but I'm not trying to bring too much heat their way. But I think Netflix has maybe the first season, maybe a little bit more of Transformers Prime on Netflix. But there are some websites out there, if you do a little digging, you can find a ways to watch the rest of the show online. But Transformers Prime, one of the best Transformers shows, really great character growth and arcs throughout that show, really great characters and depictions of characters, arguably the best Megatron characterization we've seen in any Transformers media since G1. But overall, this is my Transformers live action and animated rankings, as you can see. Of course, sticking to the movies, and then Beast Hunters is in there. But sticking to mainly the movies and stuff, this is how I'd rank it. This is my personal rankings. Let me know what you guys think. How would you switch it up? What would you do? Where would you rank what where? Let me know in the comments down below. Likes, dislikes, anything is appreciated. And until next time, guys, peace.